So my name is Ryan Lance. I am the Director of Human Resources. I've been here now 3.5 years, so it's been a very quick time period has gone by, but I just love the city of Aurora. I love what we can be able to do from a human resource standpoint to help support all the employees and the retirees, and thank you guys for being here. Your service has just been valuable, so I'm glad that we have our benefits that continue on to our retirees as well. So what we're going to do today is probably take about 45 minutes to go through an open enrollment presentation, and just feel free to ask questions along the way. So the agenda of what we're going to cover, we're going to really focus up front on the core benefits, medical, dental, and vision. We'll talk a little bit about our flexible spending account, and then Jen Hickey, our wellness coordinator, will go ahead come up here and talk about our wellness program. And then we'll hit up our voluntary, ancillary, and then some of our city-paid benefits, and then talk about what the enrollment process looks like. So we'll jump straight into the medical one, and this is the one that we definitely focus a lot on. It's the one that's most important to all of our employees and our families, is making sure we do have a very comprehensive and affordable medical program. So we'll start off with what we did this year with our renewal process. It is also worth mentioning that we do have a benefits committee that we work with. We have a couple benefits members here. They represent each person from a person from each department, and it's very vital that we get that feedback when we go through what we call the renewal process. What the renewal process is, each year we evaluate and we look at all of our benefits that we offer. And we want to make sure that we're getting the best benefits and what's that cost going to be to the benefits to renew it for the next year. And we have to do that every single year. So the benefits committee, which has about 25 people on it, they're just really vital for us being able to know what employees need, what kind of feedback. And although they don't necessarily make the decisions, they advise HR on the decisions that we ultimately get approval through city management on. And we typically have a budget we have to hit. Luckily, we've been well under our budget for the last 4 years. So it's just been great news that our benefits are running really well. Overall, our benefits, we've seen enhancements over the past 4 years with very little cost increases and very little cost increases to employees. So our goal is always, without a doubt, to provide the best benefits we can at the most affordable cost. And then we also want to make sure we are throwing in a diverse benefit offering, because each employee and their families, you guys have different needs. Some people, prioritize higher level of coverage. Some people just want coverage at a lower premium. So there's all these different factors that we consider. So for our medical, which is our largest line item that we have, the renewal came in, we have Kaiser Permanente as our medical provider. It came in at 1.4% of an increase of total cost to the city. So that includes the city cost as well as the employee cost. So that was 1.4%. For reference, the national medical trend or average that we're seeing across the board nationally is 6.5%. Kaiser initially, or they see their medical trend for their book of business, so all their clients, at 3.4%. So you can see at 1.4, we're really happy that we continue to come in low. And that's a product of people being enrolled in the right plan, covering the dependents, making sure that they are set up in the right way, and then being good utilizers of our medical. So the better utilizers that all of our employees are, then the better cost containment we have and the better renewals. So we do want to continue to focus on the education piece of it. What we call plan design, or what type of coverage you have. If we take a look at the changes, one of the main changes that we do have is something that wasn't our choice. So the IRS did increase the minimums that we have for the health savings account, the HSA plan. So the health savings account deductibles for that, by the government, they went ahead and said that you have to have $1,500 or $3,000 as the minimum. Now, good news for us is that we set our HSA plan and our high deductible plan at the lowest allowed by government, which means we have one of the richest high deductible health plans you can have out there. Bad news is they're forcing us to go up from $1,400 for the individual deductible up to the $1,500, and then for the family it went from $2,800 up to $3,000. So we did have to increase that minimum. So that means that if I go to the doctor's office for myself, I have a bad year, that I have to pay $1,500 deductible if being enrolled in the high deductible health plan. In my family, it now goes up to $3,000. Really good news is the city's in a good position to go ahead and help out with that forced increase in our benefits. So we're going to go ahead and increase the health savings account that the city funds. So if you're enrolled into the health savings account plan, we're going to go ahead and increase that amount. So if you're on employee only, the city was funding it at $850. This coming year, in 2023, we'll give an extra $150, so now you'll have $1,000 of city-provided HSA funding. For employee plus spouse, we're going from $1,200 this year to $1,500 next year. Employee plus children, that same $1,200 to $1,500. And if you're enrolled in our family plan, that'll change from $1,800 to $2,200. So if you're enrolled in one of these plans, for example, with me, I'm enrolled in the HSA or the high deductible health plan family. I will start January 1st with $2,200 that the city will put into my health savings account. So that means if we hit our family deductible, I already have $2,200 paid out of that $3,000. Cost share. So the cost share is what the city pays versus what the employee pays. So we are doing, we're on a 3-year plan to really get to where we want how much the city's paying versus how much the employee's paying. I will say our plan and our strategy is very, very competitive. We have some of the best against all of the municipalities. We benchmark against 24 of them throughout the metro area. And with our Kaiser plan, as it compares to what other municipalities are doing, we are number 1 in almost every category. So our cost share is really, really good. But we're doing some final tweaks to it, just 0.5% here and there on a couple plans. And then I think moving forward, we're going to be set with making sure that employees know each year what or how much they're going to be paying out of that total cost. There's going to be a slight increase to the DHMO and to the triple option on a couple of those tiers. Couple slight increases to premiums and a couple decreases in premiums. Specifically, if you're on the family tiers, you're going to see a decrease in cost, and then on a couple of the other tiers, you might see a slight increase. But it's all very minimal. We're talking anywhere between a couple pennies to, I think the most is like $1.50, $1.75 per pay period. So very, very minimal changes. And then I mentioned that there's going to be the decreases to those family tiers on the DHMO 200 plan and then the triple option. So this might be hard for you guys to see up here. We did send out communication that includes all this information. We have the enrollment guide that's available, but this is a chart of our different plans. So this is meant more from a visual so you guys can see, that you can see up top what our plans are. I mentioned before making sure that we offer diverse plans. The idea is, again, each person and each family situation has different needs. So the high deductible health plan is a great plan for those who want to be more invested into knowing where their dollars are being spent, and this idea that they can have low premiums out of their pocket. They might have to pay a higher deductible, higher out-of-pocket max, but they do have less premiums coming out of their pocket. We have a very rich HDHP plan. We have the lowest deductibles and out-of-pocket maxes allowed by the government, and then our co-insurance is set at 20%. I will say this is our richest plan just because we have premiums so low, deductibles and out-of-pocket maxes so low, and it's just a really, really good plan. It has the advantages of also having a health savings account. We try to parlay that into a retirement account as well. So if you're not familiar with the health savings account, it's a triple tax advantage plan. So that means the money that we put into your HSA account and that you put into your HSA account does not get taxed out of your paycheck, doesn't get taxed when you spend it on any medical, dental, or vision or qualifying expenses. And then if you build up enough of a balance, you can invest it into the market, and then you won't get taxed on any of the earnings or the investments or interest. So that's what it's meant by a triple tax advantage. Upon retirement age, if you have a balance in it, then you don't have to use it just for healthcare expenses. It turns into a retirement account and you can use it for anything. The DHMO 200 is our most popular plan. It has low deductibles, low out-of-pocket maxes, and a mid-level premium. Our DHMO 750 plan is a great option for those who don't necessarily have a lot of medical needs or anticipation of needs. And of course, we have our HMO plan, and then we have a triple option, which provides out-of-network coverage. So for those who need specialists or surgeons that are outside of Kaiser's network, that's going to be the plan. It costs a bit more, but it provides that coverage. And then our medical cost, this will be in all of our communication and our materials that are now coming out. You can see what type of changes we've had. We've had very little changes. The HDHP plan, the DHMO 750 are no increases to premiums. And like I indicated on a couple slides ago, we're seeing slight increases and decreases for the DHMO 200, HMO, and triple option. I was just looking at this morning to see what some of our neighboring agencies are doing, trying to get a hold of what kind of increases they're having and comparing to it, and our premiums are pretty sweet where they're at. It's something that we're trying to really utilize as a recruitment technique as well as a retention technique, because we hear stories often of employees that might leave for increase in pay, but then they come back and they tell me that they're paying an extra $5,000, $6,000 a year in just premiums, and they don't have great deductibles and out-of-pocket maxes. So we're very proud of what we're able to offer from a medical standpoint. Question? So the question is if these slides are part of the emails that we just recently sent out. Not yet, but we will send this out. We'll post it to the SharePoint, but we will also include it in some of our emails, or at least one email going forward, and then we'll have it on our benefit website. Okay, and it went to our SharePoint site? Okay, yep, so this will be uploaded probably this afternoon. Yep. Other questions? Yep.
No, sorry, I was just looking at it. I walked in a couple minutes late, you might have covered it. For employees that aren't on the plan, is there any change to the stipend that you would receive towards not being on the medical?
Okay. The question is, if you waive our coverage, and is there any changes to the stipend that the city provides? And the answer is no changes to that. So it's staying exactly the same, which is at $50 a month.
Right. So what's the cost savings if someone isn't on the employee on a medical plan for the city?
The question is, what's the cost savings if we don't have employees on our plan and they get the stipend? There is a savings to the city on that. I'll tell you that, I'll take this opportunity to again talk about our approach and our plan. Our philosophy with our benefits is to provide high enough coverage that really encourages people to say, our plan is great, I want to be on it, and I want our employees to be on it. Sometimes you have some companies that are really concerned about the cost, and they try to push people to get off the plan. They try to push people to get the waiver and the stipend. That's not our philosophy. We really focus on cost containment and then continue to offer great benefits. Here's an example. We have 95% of our eligible employees are enrolled in our Kaiser plan. 95%. You typically only see that in like private sector companies that offer basically zero, cost to the employees. Usually you see between 60, 70, 80% of an employee population enrolled in our benefits, and we have 95. And that doesn't even include our spouses. So we have employees who are enrolled here they're on their spouse plan, and they just waive it on their own. So our percentages could even be higher than that 95%. So, but the actual dollar amounts, we're talking, it could be we save $1,000 in a year on it. So, does that answer your question?
Yes. Okay. So, quick question. I'm going to be retiring next year, and I just want to confirm that if I decide to stay with the city program, these are the premiums that myself and my family will pay as a retiree.
Yep. So the question is about someone who's going to soon retire and whether these premiums are going to be the same. And the answer is yes, it is going to be the same. To your point, the full cost of that, right? It's not going to be just the employee cost to it. But yeah, you have that ability to have the cost containment that we have with the full premiums. The question is whether we would include the dental for retirees under the Kaiser program. Yeah, we've actually taken a look at that. It's one of the things that we, part of it would probably see if there's a need for that. We do offer that dental program through Delta Dental, and we think that program is really competitive. But if that's something that retirees would be interested in, we would definitely add that to the list and consider that piece of it. So maybe we could talk after the meeting, and if you guys have some thoughts or feedback on it, it'd be great to hear. Have a couple more slides just on the medical piece of it section. So access to care with Kaiser. We do evaluate our medical provider, all of our providers every year internally, and we make a decision whether we're going to go for out to market or out to bid for it. The last time we did it was 2 years ago, and we, using the committee, using management team, executive management, our broker, we decided to stay with Kaiser. We also explored whether we were able to slice it, meaning having Kaiser and another medical provider, and it just didn't make sense at that time. We'll probably not next year, but the year after that, we'll probably go to market again. One of the reasons why we're comfortable with staying with Kaiser, among many of them, is we think they have a great network that's meeting our employees' needs. Between all the medical offices they have affiliated network providers that aren't officially Kaiser, but we can utilize them. There's plenty of urgent cares at 30 plus, plenty of emergency rooms, and then recently they are partnering with Cigna on getting and expanding their network a bit. Same day coverage, this is an important item. I know it is for me, especially with me and my family. What's available if something comes up and I need something more immediate? So you can see here there's a list between chat with a doctor to a medical advice, phone in, e-visits, urgent care, Dispatch Health. It's a third-party company that can come to your home and actually provide some services. And then there's a lot of additional affiliated emergency rooms. And then our service hour, or their service hours for the primary care physicians, the PCP. Sorry about my notifications up there. But Monday through Friday, 7 to 7 p.m., convenient weekend hours. And then the behavioral health services is really important to make sure we're offering that. And then kp.org and then their mobile app are great resources. I would highly encourage, just as a good consumer of your medical benefits, if you can, just use the mobile app. It's a great way to get instant access to everything from urgent care locations and hours, emergency rooms, the nurse advice line, chat with a doctor, virtual visits, billing, any kind of information you'll be able to find on their mobile app. And then here's a chart that really lists out some of those same-day care options you have, when they're available, and then what the cost is. And in most of our plans are going to be free. Of course, with the high deductible health plan, there's going to be that deductible for those services. Any other questions regarding medical before we move on to dental?
Once you reach your maximum out-of-pocket expense, you're not subject to co-insurance, are you?
So the way it works is you first have to pay the deductible. And once you hit that deductible, then you pay a co-insurance. And that co-insurance is going to be that. So let's say I'm on a high deductible health plan. Let's say I hit my $1,800 that I need to pay for my deductible. Once I hit that, then any bills after that, I'm only paying 20%. So if I get a bill of $100, then I'm only paying $20. So I pay $20, $20, $20 until I hit my out-of-pocket max of $3,000. So you could see, for me getting to that out-of-pocket max at that 20% that I'm paying, I'd have to have a lot of visits, or I'd have to have a major surgery or two, something that's really expensive to get to the out-of-pocket max. Coverage, when you look at plans out there, you always want to first pay attention to your out-of-pocket max, because that's your liability. Anything after that out-of-pocket max, the insurance company pays for. If you take a look at all of our plans, when you look at the guide, take a look at our out-of-pocket maxes. They're pretty outstanding. Whereas some of the benchmark groups that we take a look at, I mean, their out-of-pocket maxes are standard like 8,000, 9,000, 12,000. Some of them are 15,000. So our out-of-pocket maxes are pretty good. Hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, this may be pretty plan specific, but I'm asking for a coworker. He's got a daughter in college. He's got the HMO. I think he has the DHMO. She gets 5 doctor visits in her lifetime with that, not including ER and urgent care. He's wondering if there is another option up there that would allow his daughter to see out of network doctors when she goes to college.
So the question is about a college student on our plan, on Kaiser. I'm sorry.
Is it 5 a year? Because I have that.
Yeah.
I did have that too. 5 per year or 5 lifetimes?
He told me 5 lifetimes.
Yeah, it's per year. So, and that's one thing that we're very cognizant of with Kaiser is what type of coverage do we have for college students who are out of state. And there is that limit in terms of like 5 visits per year, not lifetime. There are some of those other caps that are in place. It's one of the disadvantages of being with Kaiser, but we hope we're able to supplement that. Kaiser also has some additional resources besides just those basic caps, and we've continued to work with them. And if you give them a call, or you can work through the benefits team, we can talk about what some of those other options are. They have some partnerships and some affiliated agencies out there in some of those locations, and they're expanding their network on that. Kaiser is operating, I think, in 8 states right now, so if you're in one of those states, there tends to be a bit more services for it, but some of those other ones, Kaiser can work one-on-one with some of that stuff. But yeah, it's 5 in a year, not lifetime. Okay.
And while they're there, if they come home, it doesn't matter. Like if
Correct.
they're living here, then they have regular coverage.
Yep. If they come back into state, then they'll have, as if they were in state.
Do you have to do that, pay for that separately, or it's included in those plans?
It's included in the plans. Yep, not separate. Okay. And if there's other medical questions at the very end, hopefully we'll have some time to be able to go through that. So the dental and vision are going to go pretty quickly. So with plan design, coverage, any type of changes we're doing some enhancements, which is great. So this is going to be specific to, we have 2 plans. We have a buy-up plan, and then we have a base plan. So our base plan, we're changing the preventive co-insurance from 90% up to 100%. So it'll be 100% covered by plan. And then for major services for our base plan, we're going from 25% to 50%. So we're enhancing our base plan. And then nothing's changing on our buy-up plan. And the buy-up plan is the one that is our most popular one. There's no changes to rates, premiums, employees' costs. And then in the guide and in the slides, you'll see where our costs are. So they're exact same from last year. So, yeah, and if you take a look at this, employee only, base plan is 93 cents per paycheck, or if the buy-up plan is $3.14. So very competitive. Questions on dental? So for our vision plan through VSP, no changes to the plan that we have. So we have a base plan and a buy-up plan. No changes to our exams, co-insurances, lenses, frames, everything's staying exactly the same. And no costs. Now with this plan, it's worth noting that this one is 100% employee paid. And we have our rates up there that range anywhere from $2.90 per paycheck all the way up to $16.66.
You have to purchase glasses through Kaiser or through outside source?
This will be through VSP. So if you're signed up through VSP, you'll use their network. And they have they're one of the vision companies that have the largest network out there. So there'll be independent doctors' offices. They've included recently Walmart, Costco, so you could buy it from thousands of locations. But you mentioned Kaiser. So the thing that I think a lot of employees don't know is if you don't have vision, then you can get your annual visit for you or for your covered dependents through Kaiser as well. They do a free exam. You just won't get some of those discounts when it comes to frames and lenses. And then flexible spending account, it's through Alaris. So if you have medical, dental, or vision needs, then you can set aside money from your paycheck, pre-taxed, to pay for a healthcare FSA account. There's some maximums, out-of-pocket, maximums contributions. You can do it for deductibles. You can do it for now over-the-counter expenses for healthcare. And then beyond the healthcare FSA, we do have a dependent care. Now that one can get confusing. Sometimes people think dependent care means paying for your children medical needs. This is meant for child care for your dependents. And you can set aside pre-tax money to pay for child care expenses or for a care of a parent. We do have a transportation flexible spending account that you can use for RTD or mass transit, and that is tax-free as well.
Under the HSA, it says you can't enroll in FSA or limited FSA. What's the limited portion if you're in the HSA?
Yeah, so the government has it set up where you can't double dip, so you can't be contributing into a health savings account and a flexible spending account at the same time. So because of that, it's going to be limited. So if I'm in the HSA plan, then the limited FSA means I have limited scope of what I can do. And I can enroll into that and get some benefits from it, but I'm not going to be able to get the full benefits that I would if I wasn't in the health savings account. So it just narrows that scope of what you're able to use a flexible spending account for. Yeah, so we have information, I think that's outlined in our open enrollment guide, and then we have some documents that define all that. It'll also have information about what's eligible for some of these. But the good news is COVID ended up having the over-the-counter now be eligible. For those who maybe have been enrolled in an FSA account for a while, what's happened I think it was about 6, 7, 8 years ago, they took away the ability to use over-the-counter, and then they were able to introduce it back. So all those examples and all those details are outlined on our SharePoint site. And then with the flexible spending accounts, this is use it or lose it. So unlike a health savings account, that one is your money and it rolls over. You continue to have that one. The flexible spending account is a use it or lose it. And just also for clarification, you can only have a HSA account, so not a flexible spending account, the HSA account, if you're enrolled in the high deductible health plan. So you can't choose between HSA and FSA. It's either you're on the high deductible health plan and you get the HSA, or you choose not to be on it and then you can get the FSA. Yep.
So on the HSA, so the money that the city gives you, the $2,200 or $1,800 or $1,500, that is not use it or lose it. That stays in that account year after year.
You own that money. You own. So the question is about the HSA that it rolls over. The answer to that one is that you set up your own account, your own savings account, and that's in your name. And the minute that money goes in there, that's your money. It will always be your money.
Thank you, Ryan.
And this is Jen Hickey, and I'll pass it on to her.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Ryan. You'll be having Ryan again. I have a short segment, but we wanted to talk about the Employee Wellness Program now. I work in human resources. I've been here almost over 9 years, so we've been able to build our program for active employees over these years, and really value bringing our wellness program to employees to build that culture of health. So one aspect that we've really brought in is a holistic mindset around our employee well-being, knowing that well-being encompasses many different areas, not just our physical health, but also our mental health, community and social well-being, and also our financial well-being. So really having a well-rounded program that encompasses all of those aspects to make our well-being program very holistic for employees in order to support them and their families. So some of the really high-level things that we offer for our physical and mental well-being, you can see on the screen here, we have our Win with Wellness program, which has been a very fun program to run. This is our 8th year doing it. How many of you guys have earned a $200 Visa gift card in your time here? Great. So we have our Win with Wellness portal with a new vendor this year, WebMD, who's been a great partner. So employees are able to participate in well-being activities through our Win with Wellness portal to earn points towards a $200 Visa gift card. This program runs through the end of October this year, so if you still want to get engaged with the program, there's still a chance to do that. We have on-site and also live virtual fitness classes for employees throughout the week. Our classes on-site are over at the Central Library, which include Zumba, yoga, and Pilates, which are very popular and really fun for employees, and also live virtual circuit training classes, which we moved virtual with COVID, and that's been a good benefit. We are going to be having free recreation center memberships for employees, which is a new benefit rolling out with open enrollment that we're very excited about, which also extends to immediate family members. So more information coming on that soon, but we're very excited about being able to provide that free recreation center membership. We also are able to roll out WW, which was formerly Weight Watchers, membership discounts for employees where you're getting half of your membership paid by our wellness program. So we have more information about that on my SharePoint site, but that's been a really great benefit. So if you're interested in weight loss or just healthy living, WW has a digital and also on-site workshops, plus their digital tools that you can enroll in and get a 50% off discount. We also have a program called Total Brain, which is a mental health and brain performance program that this is our 2nd year running, which is very beneficial for mental health. And we also bring mental health first aid at work training to the city each year. We've had them on site, but they've been virtual the last couple of years due to COVID, but hopefully next year we can bring those back on site. For community and social well-being, we know that this relationships you're building with your coworkers and the relationships you have with family and friends are very important to health. So we really try to foster that here at the city. It's been getting better having especially gatherings like this. We can see each other in person, has been very nice. We have our Benefit Wellness Expo coming up on the 4th, so hopefully you can come and visit us there. But we have an employee wellness committee, which, like our benefits committee, helps guide our wellness program and promote health and wellness in departments that meets monthly. We promote various community health events throughout the year, anything from Colfax Marathon discounts, Bike to Work Day. We had an on-site men's health screening here in September that was for employees and community. So really trying to get employees involved in the community we serve and building relationships with coworkers and supporting our family members as well. We also have an employee volunteer program that's run through Aurora Learn, which is part of HR, that I love promoting because we know volunteering in the community is very beneficial for health and wellness. So we get 8 paid employee volunteer hours to use each year, which I see through a well-being lens and like to include when I promote wellness in our city program. And finally, we have financial well-being programming at the city to help employees really focus on financial security for themselves and families. Various, of course, our pension plan. We have our nationwide 457 plan. We have our health savings account, which Ryan mentioned as far as a good retirement strategy, and various financial education sessions and webinars throughout the year. Any questions about these benefits? Yes.
I know it says free recreation center membership, but I thought we were beginning to be taxed on it.
We do get taxed on it, yes. So there is that tax component. There is.
Along with the mental health, just a thought, maybe growing
Yeah.
the reservoirs.
Oh.
The reservoirs.
I would love that. Absolutely. Perfect. Yeah, I'm always open to those kind of partnerships. Great. Good point there. Any other questions? Yes.
Do retirees have any access to any of those?
These programs, if they're community health events, yes. The main program that we have for our retirees is our employee gym. So we really want to make sure our retirees know that they have access to our on-site gym, which is here in the AMC on the 3rd floor. So this is our Peak Wellness Center. Some pictures here for you if you've never been up there. We love our employee gym. It's open 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day. Hopefully we'll get back to 24/7 access like we had before the pandemic. We're working on our cleaning protocols, so we still have at these certain hours. But the gym is open to retirees and employees. No family members, it's just an employee gym. But really want to make sure you know the resource exists. It's a fantastic gym. We are getting new strength equipment, which should be delivered in January. So the gym is getting a lot of the equipment replaced. So we're really excited about that, to keep enhancing the employee gym benefit that we have. And so up on the screen is my SharePoint site. Oh, yes.
Yeah, as a retiree, how do you get into the gym in the building? Do you need to have a pass?
You do. So you'll come to HR on the 3rd floor, and we'll get you a retiree badge.
Okay.
And you sign a waiver. Yeah. Any other questions? So all this information and more is on my Employee Wellness SharePoint site, which is listed up there. Really want to make sure that you know about the benefits that we do for our wellness program and that we're here to support you. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out anytime. Thank you. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Jen. All right, we'll move forward. We'll focus on some city-paid benefits, voluntary benefits, and then a couple new programs that we are offering. So short-term disability is income replacement. So if someone goes out on a non-work-related injury, let's say they have surgery or they're just out for a period that's going to be longer than a week, then short-term disability is available for employees. It is set up where it's 66 2/3 of your weekly income, but there's no taxes on it. So since you're not being taxed on that, then it really equates to almost a full paycheck. So it's a great benefit to have. We introduced this 3 years ago as an employee paid benefit, and they can opt in. And then we transitioned it to a city paid benefit. So this is no cost to employees. And then we have a long-term disability. So if you are out for that disability longer than 13 weeks, then you can convert over to long-term disability, and that's going to be 60% of your monthly income until you're able to return back to work or until you hit maximum medical improvement. No cost to city, and then it's to note for those that are civil service employees, they get their long-term disability through FPPA. Basic life insurance on the next slide, we'll walk through that, but the city does provide life insurance for all employees. And then we talked about the employee wellness program. We also have the employee assistance program. These are all paid by the city. And then we'll talk about the Employee Recreation Center on one of our last slides. Wanted to show here that there's voluntary benefits that are available, and we'll walk through these, just high-level overview of each one of them. But wanted to show that there's no changes to that, so no increased cost or changes to the actual benefits, and we'll walk through those. The question was, do you have to use your leave time to qualify for the disability? And the answer to that is no. So that's why this is a really good benefit. It helps also save and protect that sick leave, annual leave, and that personal leave that employees get. And I do want to pause on this. This is something that is just personally very important to me, is we can talk about medical and dental. We can talk about paychecks and all that stuff. This one thing that I think is just really important, and as a city we need to be always mindful of, is how do we take care of employees and their families in times of need, in times of things that they can't control, that something unfortunate happens, an accident happens. Do they need to stress about where are they going to keep their job, and are they going to have income? And what we're trying to do from a benefit standpoint is make sure that we protect and we take care of employees and their families. So basic life insurance, this is a good example. These are some of the welfare benefits that we highly value. So life insurance, this chart here is to show that there's two categories of life insurance. In the past, it was the class 1, which happens to be mayor, council, executives, appointees, managers. They would get higher life insurance. Well, a couple years ago, we changed it where all employees get 2 times their salary equivalent if something was to happen to them, that their families would be taken care of at 2 times their salary. If you need additional coverage beyond that, we do offer supplemental life insurance, and that is something that at a discounted cost, an employee can go ahead and sign up and pay their premiums for additional life insurance. And then the AD&D stands for accidental death and dismemberment. So this is a great benefit because if someone does pass away and it's an accident, let's say it's a car accident, then they would get 2 times their salary for the life and 2 times of salary for the AD&D. So it's a great benefit, and a lot of people don't know that, is it doubles up your life insurance if it is a true accident. And that's the same thing with the supplemental and the AD&D extra insurance you can get.
Is this plan something you can continue after separation of employment?
Yeah, you can convert it over. So with these plans, you can. It's called convert and port. There's 2 different options, and it is available. We do offer accident insurance. This is a supplement to the medical insurance, which is great to have. So if something happens, broken leg, if my daughter gets injured doing one of her sports, then we can sign up for this, and it pays out a lump sum amount of money for that injury. So this is a really good extra benefit to have in case you need it. This is through Voya, and Voya does cover the next few lines of supplemental coverage for us. The critical illness insurance, this is something that you can buy into, so it's coverage in case something critical happens, then you have extra coverage. This is set up as a lump sum as well, and it's really great because it'll provide that extra coverage for the deductibles, out-of-pocket maxes, some of that extra expense that might have if something unfortunate, unexpected comes up. There's some examples here from heart attacks, strokes, all the way to dealing with skin cancer and just cancer in general. This is coverage for family. It's portable, flexible, and what's really cool about this is it's guaranteed issue, so there are no health questions or physical exams required. We have hospital indemnity. So this is going to also supplement your medical insurance. It pays a lump sum benefit for when your health insurance isn't going to cover all expenses. So unplanned stuff, it helps out with that deductibles. It helps out with other things that might come up because you are in the hospital. So it could help out with rent and mortgage, and it's a lump sum amount that is given to you to go ahead and get through situations where you might be hospitalized. There's other benefits by signing up for this. So you get extra things like if you sign up for the hospital indemnity and you do a health screening benefit, then you'll receive $50 per covered person who completes that. And then similar to the other ones, portable coverage, family coverage, and then a guarantee acceptance as well. We do offer pet insurance. This is something we introduced, I think this is our second year of actually having it, and it was a popular request, so we went ahead and introduced it. It's through Nationwide. You reach out directly to them, you enroll directly with them, and they'll get you set up with payments. We did have this set up as deductions from your paycheck. One change we're doing is next year, this is going to have to convert over to direct bill. So that means you're going to be paying that cost and that premium directly to Nationwide. It's a similar setup we have currently with home and auto insurance and discounts. So you'll take advantage of being a City of Aurora employee. So because of that, you have a group savings discount, and it's anywhere from vehicle. So you can do your car, you can do boat, motorcycles, recreation vehicles, to homeowners insurance, and then other protections. If you have rental properties, you can get that discount through, and this is through Farmers Insurance. We have identity theft protection in this world, right? That cybersecurity, the people who come in and get a hold of your social security, your date of birth. We do have a service available that you can pay into through InfoArmor that helps you out through that protection. And then legal insurance, so it's through MetLife. So if you want to, you can go ahead and sign up for that, and that allows you to have legal services. Some of the more common ones that we see are going to be if you need to write a will or have a will done or looked at again. They offer that type of service, estate planning, real estate matters. So it's nice to be able to have this type of service if someone wants to.
The nice thing about the EAP, I don't know if people realize you may pay for that, but you can do a will and planning through EAP, and it's free. I think you pay $15 to get the will.
Yep. That's.
So if people don't realize that the EAP is more than just being helpful for your stuff.
Yeah, that's a great comment. You could tell that she's on our benefits committee. But the comment was about our EAP, our Employee Assistance Program. You actually, through that program, can have them assist with a will. Speaking of EAP, EAP is through CompPsych. It is a guidance and resource place for you and for your family. And it's 100% confidential, available 24/7, 365 days out of the year. You can get up to 6 counseling sessions per year. And then we have all of our information located on our SharePoint site and our benefits guide. It's something that is available for employees and their family members at any time. Free of charge to employees. And then a couple new benefits. So the last couple slides. So as we mentioned earlier, what we're introducing now is a new benefit for recreation center membership. So for all of our recreation centers, you can go ahead and opt in and choose to get this free benefit. It is meant for all benefit-eligible employees and benefit-eligible family members. And what that really means is if you have family members that are eligible to get onto your medical coverage, as a perfect example, then they'd be eligible to go to the rec center for free. If you happen to have a cousin who's living in the house, that person won't count. But it's going to be benefit-eligible employees. It's another example of us making sure we're taking care of families, because there is a cost to the city to be able to provide this piece of it, but we think it's really important to make sure that we are taking care of family members as well. And then it is going to be something, as mentioned earlier, that employees will be subject to paying the taxes on it. So this is something we do have to do and follow. So the way we have it set up is the annual employee, if it's employee only, it's $250. For the family, it's $350. That's what the charge is. City's paying for that. You're just paying for the tax of that $250 or the tax of that $350. So it's going to be very minimal when it comes to what's coming out of your pocket.
Will it be taxed once, or will it be broken out across the year of all your paychecks?
Right now we're having it set up. We're finalizing all the details, but it's most likely going to be a monthly. It'll show up on your paycheck once a month as a tax. It's based upon your tax rate, your income. So what you would typically get taxed on something, 15%, 20%, 25%, just varies. This is an active enrollment. A lot of questions we've had is, well, what if I don't want it and I don't want to pay the taxes? Well, we're not going to automatically enroll everyone into it. It's going to be the process where if you want to participate in it, you can go ahead and walk into a recreation facility and sign up for that. It'll provide access to any of the city's recreation centers. It includes drop-in fitness classes. It's not going to include some of those extra classes you have to sign up for. We don't want to take away those spots from our community that are signed up for it. Now, you can register for those classes, but there'll probably be an extra cost associated with that one. But for all drop-in classes, that's going to be included in the membership. No, this is just going to be for active employee members, but we still have our gym here on the 3rd floor that's available. You could sign up. The question is, do you have to sign up during open enrollment? You can sign up throughout the year at any given point in time. So I live out in Southeast Aurora, so I might not sign up until the new recreation center starts. So, is there another question? Okay. The question is when we start this. We're trying to get it started right away. There's a lot of logistics behind the scenes, so we're hoping in the next week or so we'll be able to send out an email saying we're good to go to your rec center and go ahead and sign up. The actual effective date of it, we're trying to push for hopefully immediate effective date, maybe November. We're definitely not trying to hold off until January, but those are just some of those final details we're just shoring up with our recreation division.
So will it renew on the year then, or it's like if it's annually, are you paying $250 for the rest of this year and then you get another $250 next year?
Yeah, so the $250 and the $350, so the question is how the payments and the annual cycle for it. That's just an example of what the cost of the benefit would be and what you'll be taxed on. So you'll sign up now, you'll continue it, and you'll just get that monthly tax deduction taken out. We do want it where it's set up where you do have to sign up for it each year. So when you hit your anniversary date, then you're going to have to re-enroll in that, or just let them know that you're going to continue it. It's really meant to make sure that we don't have 100 people sign up and they never use it. The city's kind of paying for that benefits, and there's being tax associated with it. We just want to make sure that employees have to sign up for it each year. Simple process, though. Okay. And then to register for it, just take your ID, your employee ID number to any recreation center, and they'll be able to get you signed up. And then they'll coordinate with us, and we'll put it as a benefit, and then we'll work with payroll to get that tax portion of it deducted. And then the benefit eligible family members, they have to come with you as the employee. And then the other great program we're excited to announce is what we're calling the Mental Health Resource Program. So it's not EAP, it's not services that you would get directly through Kaiser, even though Kaiser's the one who's going to administer this. This is a program that we're doing in-house through the city. So it is a mental health resource program for those employees that need assistance for mental illness and related to it in a severe emotional distress. If they're concerned about their health in any given way and they need some additional assistance, we're offering a program. We're trying to make sure we protect the employee's dignity, psychological safety, financial resources, career, and their life in certain situations. So this is similar to our CARS program, City of Aurora Addiction Rehabilitation Services program. So if you're familiar with that, that's focused on addiction and then the comorbid aspect of the mental health. But if someone just has a need for some mental health in it, it's going to be more than an EAP service. It's going to be a severe, or it's going to be outpatient, severe outpatient, or it's going to be inpatient treatment. So similar to our CARS program, this does have that intense, focused, someone needs help, and it's going to take away time from work, from your family. Often it is inpatient, and it's tough for employees to deal with their mental health concerns and issues if they're worrying about, well, what about my job? What about paying for the bills? I can't afford this $15,000, $20,000 facility for the next 2 weeks of treatment. So what we're offering is a program that really protects your job. It continues your wages. It'll give you the mental health treatment. It's going to be 100% confidential. You don't have to use your sick leave banks, your annual leave banks. This is going to be completely taken care of by the city, and employees can go and get that treatment they need and then return back to work once they get cleared and they're in a better position. 100% confidential. This program, as well as the CARS program, is a notification to the Director of HR and or the Deputy Director of HR. We have one benefits analyst who administers the FMLA and the leave associated with it. And then we do contact our one contact person in payroll. Outside of that, those are the only individuals that know, and it is our job to be confidential. So both with the CARS program and this mental health program, if you or you know of an employee, you can suggest this program to them.
How is it going to stay confidential if your immediate supervision doesn't know where you're at?
We tell them that you're on an approved FMLA. Yep. And so the question is, how does the immediate supervisor know that this is confidential? Well, they're not supposed to know when you go, any employee that goes on FMLA, unless you disclose it, they're not supposed to know the medical reasons for why you're going out. So we would continue that. Often employees, if they're comfortable with their supervisors, they might communicate that to them, but that's a choice on their side. But from a confidentiality standpoint, if they want that, it'll stay confidential. Okay. Last couple slides are just about the open enrollment process. We are bumping up the open enrollment a little bit earlier than in past years. A lot of that, if you guys don't know, we're implementing a new system that's incorporating a lot of human resources and payroll functions. It's called Workday. That's going to go live on December 16th, and because of that, we need to get a lot of things done ahead of time. So we did bump up our open enrollment to October 1st through October 16th. And in the past, we've done 3 weeks. It's actually only 2 weeks to actually enroll. It's the same process that we've done in the past. It's going to be a passive enrollment, which means your benefits will automatically roll over with the exception of flexible spending account and health savings accounts. Those you have to re-elect each year. Other than that, your medical plan will stay the same, your dental, everything will roll over automatically. During the enrollment, you have the ability to go in there and make changes to medical, dental, vision, FSA, HSA, supplemental life insurance, and all your voluntary life insurance benefits. The ones that are automatic are that you don't have to do anything. City paid benefits, life insurance, short-term disability, long-term disability, your retirement, and then employee assistance program. This is the time to go ahead and make changes to your benefits. You can elect, you can waive, you can change your benefits. Only other time you can do it throughout the year is going to be if you have a qualifying event, something that happens within your life that justifies a change. This is rules made by the IRS. It's going to be birth of a child, adoption, marriage, divorce, loss of jobs, loss of coverage, or additional coverage pops up, meaning a spouse gets a new job, then you're able to potentially have a qualifying life event and change your benefits. And then the thing that we like to try to emphasize with all employees is I use the benefit enrollment time period, the open enrollment time period, to check where I'm at with other things. So I'll check to see where I'm at with my beneficiaries. Are they up to date? My retirement contributions. Do I need to reallocate where my retirement funds are going? I use it as a way just to check what I'm doing on an annual basis. So we just highly encourage you guys to take this opportunity to take a look at making sure your beneficiaries and your life insurance and all other information is up to date. And how to enroll, you can enroll through the same system and link that we've used the past 4 years now. This link is not live yet. So if you click on it, you won't be able to enroll. Not until October 1st, which is a Saturday. So midnight on October 1st, 12:01, this link will be live and you'll be able to enroll in benefits. It's the same system, 24/7. You can use it all the way through the 16th. Registration is really easy. Social security number, date of birth, home zip code. You create a username and password. You can use the same one from last year. And if you happen to have forgot it, it has an easy forgot password, forgot username, and you can reset it that way. If you do need assistance, go ahead and call this number here. There's a team that's available 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, to go ahead and help with that enrollment or resetting passwords. So that's everything. Thank you guys, but are there questions that you guys have?
I just had a question on the EAP slide. It said 6 per year. Is it 6 per topic? I mean, it used to be 6 per topic.
Yes.
So it could be more than 6 per year?
Yep. So the question is about the 6 EAP visits. For clarification, it's 6 per topic per year. So if you have 4 different items that you need to go through and they're different topics, then you're going to have 24 different sessions you can use, up to.
6 per year.
Okay, yeah. 6 per year per topic, so we could probably add that per topic or per issue. And definitely feel free to head out. I know we're at our time, but also feel free to hang in there and I'll answer some questions.
Can you tell me again about the vision program? How do you go about, I'm a retiree.
Yeah.
So how do you go about enrolling in that?
Yep. So the question is about our vision program and enrolling. If you're a retiree, we do have the same process we've used in the past, which is a form that you complete. You elect that, and you can enroll into that benefit. For our active employees, you go through our system, and you can elect it during this open enrollment period. So, yep. Yep. You would select what plan you want, base or buy-up, and who you want covered.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What about the BSP provision? I know Kaiser offers a discounted things for hearing aids. Is there any kind of a supplemental insurance like BSP that would help out with hearing aid costs?
Yeah. So the question is there additional resources available for like hearing aid costs? Obviously, some of that stuff will go through the medical coverage if you're enrolled in Kaiser. The best way to supplement that would be taking advantage of the pre-tax options through the flexible spending account, or if you're in the high deductible health plan, then the HSA account. So essentially what you do is, depending on your tax rate, you're going to save the tax cost for that one. So you could get anywhere between a 15 up to 30, 35% discount off of that if you enroll in those in the FSA or the HSA if you're eligible. So those are going to be the best options. Yeah. The question is for, as a retiree, are you still subject to the qualifying life events? Is that essentially what you're asking?
When I retire.
Yeah, when you retire.
I think everything's the way I
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
I retire, my wife says, let's just add
Yeah.
so now, can I add it at that time?
Yeah. So the question is, someone transitioning from being an active employee to a retiree? Yes. So you would have the ability to enroll right now as an active employee, and then when you actually retire, you'll meet with someone from the benefits team, and they'll walk you through that whole process, provide the different options you can have, what choices you have in terms of what type of plan and coverage you want to be in.
And just real quick, can you talk to the, what's there like a presentation, something in the lobby like next week? What exactly?
Yeah, so we're calling that the Benefits, Wellness, and Safety Expo, or safety, or it's basically a benefits fair. So we're going to bring in our vendors that were listed here, among other services as well, and employees and retirees can come in and ask questions directly to all of the benefits. That's where you would get the details of all this stuff. You can talk to a handful of different individuals. You can meet with the benefits team. We'll be able to walk you through everything. This is the first time we're doing it since COVID. It's a little bit of a smaller, scaled-down version, but we still are going to have, I think, 20 plus vendors and tables that'll be here and available. Tuesday, October 4th from 11 to 2. And it'll be right out here in the lobby.